Welcome to part 2 of the hip and spinal mobility sequence. We're going to come onto the side of the body now, and these side lying exercises are really great for strengthening and for mobilizing the hips. Just a couple of things in regard to the head support. So this position that I've chosen with the lower arm under the head and a little cushion supporting the head and the neck is great for my body, and it challenges me when I'm lying on my side to maintain good alignment and balance. If you find this position uncomfortable for the shoulder or for your neck, maybe use a more substantial head support. So the arm will come now in front of your chest and you have a thicker cushion supporting the head. So do make sure that you find a position that's most comfortable for your body. You can also fold your cushion in half or use a towel to support the head, anything that makes you feel comfortable in the neck. So we're going to start off in what we call oyster position. So the feet are back in line with your bottom, rather than the legs being up as if you were sitting on a chair, that 90-degree angle. They're more a 45-degree angle with the feet back. The knees are stacked one on top of the other, and that should help to guide your pelvis to be in good alignment. So even if your knees are together, just double check that your top hip is right above the bottom hip. And the same thing, the shoulders should be stacked one on top of the other as well. Find a sense of length into the top of your waist and also the bottom of the waist. So try not to just sink and slump into the mat underneath you. Then, maintaining that length, we're going to straighten your top leg up to hip height, and the leg is back in line with your spine. So watch the leg doesn't sneak forwards. You can either rest the hand along your top thigh or on the top hip, or just in front of the chest, but try not to rely on the arm for balance if you have it in front of you. I'm going to keep mine on the top of my waist for this exercise because I want to encourage my waist to maintain length. So the foot, as you can see at the moment, is pointed forwards, but what I want to do is rotate my thigh bone inwards. So now my toes point to the floor, my knee points to the floor. And I want to maintain this medial rotation if I can, without the pelvis tipping forwards. From here we breathe out to lift the leg and breathe in to lower the leg. Breathe out, breathe in. See if you can maintain that rotation in. And what you'll feel is the muscles on the outside of your bum and the outside of your thighs working to hold the leg in rotation and lift and lower the leg. The tummy muscles are working to support your spine to maintain its length. Let's just do 2 more. Obviously stopping whenever you need to. When you finish there, rest the leg. Give the bottom thighs a rub if you want to. The knees are now reconnected, and the feet. And we're going to come into our oyster exercise. So this is about lateral rotation of the thigh and the hip. So as you breathe out, we lift the top knee, breathe in to rest the knee. The heels are going to squeeze together, so see if you can keep that connection between them. The more you squeeze them together, the more you'll feel this in the muscles that we're targeting, those outer bottom, outer thigh muscles that help us to rotate the leg in the hip. And again, just make sure the pelvis doesn't move from its position. So although the knee is going up to the ceiling, you want to keep the hips stacked one on top of the other. We'll just do 1 more set to finish. Rest the top knee. Again, give the bottom thighs a rub if you want to. Now we're going to work a little bit more to the front of the hip. So again, we're going to stretch the leg down the mat. And now I want you to rotate the thigh bone outwards in the hip. So the toes point to the ceiling, the knee points to the ceiling. Just watch your pelvis doesn't tip backwards though, so keep it nice and level. And we're going to breathe out as the leg goes up, breathe in as the leg goes down. Again, try to maintain that length into the top of the spine or the top of the waist. Keeping that lateral rotation now in the hip socket. So the front of the thigh holding the leg rotating out. The outer thigh muscles still working to lift and lower against gravity, so finding that challenge. I find this harder than the rotated in version for sure. We're going to do 3 more. And after your last set, bend that top knee, give the bottom and thighs, and wherever you feel that little burn, a good rub or a pat, and then let's roll over onto your other side. So I'm just going to flip over so my head's on the other end of the mat. You can simply just turn over to face the back or behind you. Again, you want your feet stacked one on top of the other, knees level, arm under your head if you prefer this position, and thick cushion under the head if that's more comfortable for your neck and shoulders. Shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked, knees and feet are stacked. And when you're ready, lengthen that top leg. Rotate the thigh bone inwards, take a breath in. As you breathe out, lift, breathe into lower. So maintain that position of the pelvis, maintain that length in the top waist. Check that the top hip doesn't come towards the lowest of your ribs or the armpit. Keep that length on the side of the body. Let's do 4 more. And then resting. So the knees are connected again, the feet are connected, and again the pelvis is still level. Squeezing the heels together, we're going to lift the top knee coming into your oyster and releasing. Breathing out to go up, breathing in to go down. So keeping the hips level with one another. Just check there's not tension in the neck or the shoulders. If there is, you might need to add a little bit more height to support your neck more adequately. We're going to do 3 more on the side. Feeling that thigh bone turn out inside your hip, the outside of the bum working. When you finish there, rest the top leg. Give the bottom and thighs another rub if you want to. And then let's stretch the leg down the mat. This time the thigh bone rotates outwards, lateral rotation. Toes pointing up, knee pointing up, hips stay level. Breathe out as you lift, breathe in as you lower. Again, keeping that length into the top of the waist. Feeling this a little bit more now at the front of the thigh. Check the leg is back in line with your spine. It shouldn't be in front of the body or to the front corner of the mat. It's just right down behind you, underneath you, as if you were standing on that leg. We'll do 2 last ones to finish. And then bend, rest that leg, give the bottom and thighs another rub. Well done, really nice. We're going to come onto our front now, onto the tummy. I'm just going to turn, actually no, I'll stay this side, I think, should be fine. We're going to come into diamond press position. So diamond press, you could either connect your fingers together, fingertips, and rest your forehead onto your fingertips. If that doesn't feel great for the shoulders or the neck, then I would suggest putting a cushion under your head or a towel, and then have the hands a little wider apart. The elbows are bent, the hands are more or less in line with the forehead, and the legs for diamond press are parallel and hip width apart. Now when we do this exercise, we're wanting to think about extending the top of the spine, so just a very, very small backward bend through the top of your body. So in order to keep the movement just to the top of the spine, we need to gently support the lower back. So we're going to draw the belly button towards the spine. Then we'll slide the nose forward, lift the back of the head, peel the chest forwards and upwards, and then gently come back down again. So it's a breath in to prepare the body, engage the abdominals. Breathe out, slide forwards with the nose, lift the back of the head, lengthen through the chest. Breath in to pause at the top, and then breathe out as you come back down. You'll notice as I come up through the spine, I'm not looking forwards and pushing my chin forwards. I'm keeping the neck really long, both front and back. And hopefully you won't feel any discomfort in the lower back as you do this. If you do, maybe don't come up as high through the top of the spine, or you might need to use more abdominal support. Just check that your arms are really passive in this position. What you don't want to do is to feel that you're pushing yourself off the floor with your arms. That's a completely different exercise. Diamond press is just about strengthening the muscles between the shoulder blades, the muscles of the upper back. Good, let's do 2 last ones to finish. When you finish your last set, we're going to come into another exercise. This one is called single leg kick prep. So the prep being the preparation stage for the full version. We're going to connect your legs together, feet together. The upper body can stay really relaxed, so you can adjust your head and hand position if you want to. I'm going to stay in this diamond press position. And again, we want to engage the abdominals to support the lower back. When you're ready, you're going to bend the right leg, or right knee, bring the heel towards your bottom, do a little kick, kick, and then straighten the leg. Bend the left knee, kick, kick, and straighten. Breathe out for the double kick. Breathe in to extend. Breathe out. Breathe in to extend. And really feel that you have support from underneath as you strengthen the back of the body. So now we're strengthening the bottom, the hamstrings, the lower back. Starting to lengthen through the front of the knee, the front of the thigh. Very nice, well done. Let's do just one more to each leg. Then we're going to come into the full version, if this suits your body. So what this involves is coming up onto your elbows. And some people find this really uncomfortable for the lower back, and often the reason for that is because they're not supporting the lower back adequately. So if you find that you start to feel any compression, discomfort, pain in the lower back, it may be because you've started to collapse the spine. So what's really important is to push your elbows into the floor, lift your chest, feel the tummy pull up from underneath you, feel the front of your hips slightly lift off the mat if possible, and it's almost as though you're pushing your pubic bone down into the mat. I'll just move these out the way if that helps with seeing my body more clearly. So keeping length into the spine, your head is hopefully in line with your spine as well, legs still more or less connected together. It's the same leg movement. You bend the knee, kick, kick, and extend. Bend the knee, kick, kick, and extend. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. So we'll do a few more sets here. What's lovely about this exercise is we start to extend into the front of the hip, and we get a lovely stretch for the front of the hip. Again, just watch you haven't started to collapse and sink between the shoulders or between the down and through the lower back. So push the elbows into the floor, lift your breastbone, pull the tummy up. Keep really strong in the spine, strong in the body. Just 1 or 2 last sets to finish, obviously stopping as and when you need to. When you finish there, a couple of options to stretch out. Either roll onto your back, hug your knees to your chest, or I'm going to push myself into rest position. So my knees are quite wide apart, my feet are together. I'm going to stretch my arms out in front of me and rest my head. If your head doesn't easily reach the mat or the floor, I would place a cushion or a towel under your head just to give your neck support. And take a couple of lovely big, full, wide breaths into this position. And then you can gently uncurl your spine, rolling it back on top of your pelvis